Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Alright, let's do this! What a game! Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Welcome aboard. It's your Flames post game show on Game Over Calgary. What a game! I mean, there were nasty parts to it. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some changes that we may want to hold, but what a game! Looking at the chat, Christian Merrill, welcome aboard. Yes, it is his 300th goal. Congratulations, Nazim Kadri. 2 goals this game. Overtime period last game against the New York Islanders. So the Flames get it done. They're victorious. 4-3 tonight. Matsy says, what more could we have realistically asked from Nazim Kadri? He's absolutely delivered on his contract 100%. He had shaky times in between, both Kadri, both Huberdeau, but those two of them, and then the youngsters, Coronato, the Wolf, they continue to deliver. And in a surprising way, I'll just refresh the standings real quick. But from my understanding, did they have the wild card spot? No, they moved to 79. So St. Louis Blues moved to 83, but they overlapped the Canucks. So Canucks is now 1 point behind, and the Calgary Flames still in the thick of races to get this done. They have now closed the gap, 4 points, or actually 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Yeah, 4 points. Doing some quick math here, which is not my strong suit, as you can see. But yeah, great game overall. Overtime win. There were nasty parts of the second period. We'll talk about that and much more as we go through along. Once again, if you're watching live, welcome aboard. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and bring your friends along. We'll chat. Last time I remember there were a handful of St. Louis Blues fans on the post game show. So if you have them around, bring them over. If you want to chat about something, bring your thoughts over. Um, Time for St. Louis to lose a few games. Let's talk about St. Louis for a moment here. I believe their schedule is gonna get tougher, kind of. So they have the Nashville Predators again, which they toppled them last week on Sunday 4-1. So we might get a win out of that. But then the rest of the St. Louis Blues, they get Colorado Avalanche twice. They get the Detroit Red Wings. They get the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then they get the Winnipeg Jets. Then they get the Edmonton Oilers, Seattle Krakens, and the Utah Hockey Club. I don't know how many of these can St. Louis Blues lose, but they kind of have a difficult schedule ahead. We'll talk about our schedule towards the end of the show as well. We'll talk about what we have in front. One thing I'll let you know, I'm going to the Battle of Alberta game on Saturday. That's going to be exciting. My first Battle of Alberta um, outside of the Flames arena. I haven't been to any other arena. This will be my first time outside. So I'll be going to Edmonton to watch the game. Luckily got some tickets, so on my way to I go. But let's talk about the game, shall we? Why can't we? But before that, always a quick ad read. Shift into Hyperdrive Hockey and get ready to have some fun with a new source for all the biggest story in hockey, bringing a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecer flavor. Join Max Van Hoot, Daphine Malabau, and Kevin Lemaire every Monday and Thursday. For your fill on the hockey world, you can watch it on our Game Over Network YouTube channel, or you can visit us on our podcast platforms Apple, Spotify, or Amazon, or head over to the GameOverNetwork.com. So once again, welcome to our viewers. AK, Matsy is here, Christian Merrill is here, all our regulars. Welcome aboard. Thanks for spending the Tuesday evening with me after a 4-3 overtime win for the Seattle Kraken. What we'll talk about in the first period is they came up scoring finally after a long time. They opened this scoring, and that's thanks to Adam Klapka, who set up the goal. The fourth line had a terrible game against the New York Islanders. They were on the ice for at least two of the first two goals that the Islanders scored. But Adam Klapka, assisted by Kevin Rooney, gets 1-0 opened. Then it got a little bit nasty for the Calgary Flames. We'll talk about that in just mere moments. And they had a successful road trip. So for those who missed their road trip, it was a 6-2 loss against the Maple Leafs. That one was little nasty. It will sting them, but they have forgotten about it because they rebounded the next three games with 3 wins. That's the New York Rangers. They won a very close one, 2-1. It was on a back-to-back. It was Dan Vladar starting, defied all the odds, and they won that one. Against the New Jersey Devils, they scored 4 unanswered goals with a 5-3 win, and the Islanders 4-3 overtime winner. And guess who that was? Nazem Kadri, again here today. Absolutely brilliant. What a performance by Nazem Kadri. Salute to him. Like Matt C said, his contract is living up to the dream. Huberdeau's contract is living up to the dream. Mac Coronado, what an amazing guy he has turned out to be. Dustin Wolf, night in and night out, he will show you what he can do. So, I think this team is what it is. They show you that they never give up. Although some moments you may feel dull, you may see the game is out of hand. And the past couple of games, they show you that they can come back. The comeback hits, and huge kudos. Morgan Frost could have ended the game early tonight in the overtime, but Joey Duckout with a beautiful save. But then at the end, Wolf with a beautiful save on the other end gets it through Nazem Kadri. Beautiful breakaway goal. And if you haven't seen that yet, Sportsnet has tweeted it out. Flames probably might have tweeted it out right now, and you'll see it all over the social media. One of the most amazing goals you will ever see from Nazem Kadri for his 300th goal of his career. So, the Flames win 4-3 in overtime. Let's do a quick scoring summary, and then we'll head into the second period. We'll talk about everything you want to talk about. So Adam Klapka, they have now added an assist to Daniel Mirmano, assisted by Kevin Rooney in the first period. 1-0 the only score in the first period. In the second period, it was 2 responses from the Seattle Kraken. Schwartz, a power play goal assisted by McCann and Borowski, and then Ty Cartier assisted by Vince Dunn. That was the second period where the Seattle Kraken led 2-1. In the third period, Nazem Kadri, power play goal, assisted by Morgan Frost and Jonathan Huberdeau, so he gets on the score sheet. Shortly after, Rasmus Anderson gets near tying goal, made it 3-2, assisted by Mac Coronado, so they regained the lead back. But then Jordan Eberle, local Calgary player, assisted by Schwartz and Beniers at the 18:30 mark, tied at 3-3. This game goes into overtime. Guess who again? Nazem Kadri, assisted by Mac Coronado. So Mac Coronado with 2 points as well this evening. Gets the game well done. KQ, Johnny Goodrow Forever, says, Anand, welcome aboard, KQ. Glad you're joining us on this Tuesday evening. Hope you enjoyed the game. Once again, Flames fans, I know there are some of you in the fan base that still want to tank, still want a high draft pick, but that's now maybe coming unrealistic. The next option is, do you want the Flames to be in the playoffs? And I think that's becoming closer and closer. It's still possible, but they still have work to do. They have now, with the updated standings, they have 3 games in hand of St. Louis Blues. They have 1 game in hand of the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks next play, let's see when do they play next. All these schedules will be looking at the out-of-town scoreboards as well. The Vancouver Canucks are in action tomorrow. Big pivotal moment against the New York Islanders. If you're a Flames fan that's hoping for playoffs, you will want maybe the Islanders to win, and Vancouver Canucks to be toppled. And the St. Louis Blues are in action on Thursday when we take on the Dallas Stars. On the Dallas Stars front, they are on a back to back. They play the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow at 8 p.m. and then they come to Calgary for a 7 p.m. puck drop. So, quick turnaround for the Dallas Stars. So, assuming the game gets done at 10:30, 11, they head on the bus right away, I assume. At least an hour 3 hours drive, let's say approximately, depending on traffic, road conditions, and everything. At least 3 hours drive. They get into the hotel by 11 or 12 midnight, or even 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Then they get into bed. If they do decide to have a morning skate, depending on how the game goes, they might have. The Flames, I hope they do get some practice in, because you are facing a tired Dallas Stars team. Easy to capitalize 2 points. Can they do it? We'll have to see. The time will tell. The real test will be on Thursday. And then, like I said, I'm going to Edmonton on Saturday for the Battle of Alberta game. That will be exciting. My first one out of an Flames Arena, outside of the dome, in an NHL environment. I'm excited. Hope you are excited too as well for another round of Battle of Alberta. Hopefully we can topple the Oilers down. Conrad Krausert and Megan Mickelson is there to scout Dallas and Edmonton. Yeah, I heard that. I think I was listening to Sportsnet 960 just before coming on air. I did hear Megan Mickelson is headed to scout Dallas and Edmonton. So maybe we'll get some tips and tricks from Megan Mickelson too. And if she gets a chance to talk with the players, maybe she can share some. Conrad, welcome aboard. Hope you're having a fantastic evening as the Flames win this one by a score of 4-3 in the overtime. Let's head into our second period conversation. If you have any questions, drop them below. If you have any thoughts, drop them below. We always appreciate it. But in the meantime, looking for ways to upstart a media company, employing over 30 young journalists across Canada. And if you have some few spare bucks kicking around, you can head to our Patreon page at the patreon.com slash the Game Over Network. You can get extra access, exclusive look behind the scenes, discount benefits, much discounts. Conrad, you can maybe wet to me. We did a Four Nations special show. And if you want, maybe if the Flames come to the playoffs, maybe we might host a special show for you. If you're able to, head to patreon.com slash the Game Over Network for tantalizing goodies. Alright, let's head into the second period where it was brutal. Let's talk about a little bit about the defense pairings. So I'll talk about the game summary quickly for the second period. The Flames had an impressive penalty kill, but then they were able to, once, like I said, Seattle Kraken were able to score on the power play. Schwartz assisted by Borowski and McCann. Dustin Wolf, like I said, he is in truly the race for Rookie of the Year, Calder Trophy. I believe there are more talks involving him now, especially if the Flames make it to the playoffs, which again is a realistic possibility. And if they do, everybody should go thank Dustin Wolf. He's been amazing. And without him, that end-to-end save in that overtime, this game could have gone sideways, depending on how you consider it. But Dustin Wolf, night in and night out, even though maybe he would have allowed one or two back tonight, but nonetheless, as an overall performance, he will perform night in and night out. Now it will be interesting to see who they go to on Thursday and then Saturday. I want to see Dustin Wolf against the Edmonton Oilers. I guess time will tell. So I'm guessing they go to Dan Vladar on Thursday and then Dustin Wolf on Saturday. That's my hope. But I'm not the Flames. I don't decide that. We'll let it to the coaches to decide. There were a couple missed calls for the Calgary Flames, especially that Hanley call where he was called for hooking, but was he hooked before? You could protest that. Once again, I'm not the official. You'll have to talk to the official. Then the things turned around when too many men were on ice penalty was called, and then it went down for the Flames. They lost their momentum. Um, there was no defense on that second goal. Seattle scored. Anderson had a brutal effort. Huberdeau turned over the puck. I was not fan of that second goal. That was by Cartier and assisted by Dunn. Let's talk about defense pairings now. We have noticed Braden Pahal's crashed a couple of games now. And I wonder if that might be the case going down for at least another couple games. Miramanov had a point tonight. Do they still keep him in? Rasmus Anderson, he scored a beautiful goal. He stayed down, I'll admit that. But does he sometimes cause a liability and make things worse? You could argue so, especially that second tying goal. Or the 2-1 goal for the Seattle Kraken. So, what is your option? Do you trade him at the off season? Or, off season? Do you extend him? Lot of questions. Let me know. Are you a pro Anderson fan or do you want Anderson moved? Of course, we have a defensive logjam. We need some room for Zane Perek, who either can only play in the OHL next year or the NHL. He's not eligible for the AHL because he's not 20 yet. So, a lot of things to think about when it comes to defense pairing. I know Braden Pahal will stay. Do they have an interest keeping Jake Bean? I know they had an interest to move Daniel Mirmanov during the trade deadline, but they couldn't get that happen. Can they trade for Daniel Mirmanov? What does Braden Pahal's future hold? Where does he slot it? Rasmus Anderson. I know Kevin Ball will stay. Will we have to find a new pairing for Kevin Ball? In the second period, the face-offs were 20 for Calgary, 15 for Seattle. Power plays 1 out of 3 for Seattle, 0 out of 1 for Calgary in the second period. Hits were 19 Calgary, 18 Seattle, and shots were 19 Calgary, 20 Seattle. I think that was all for my discussion for the second period. Of course, lend in your thoughts on these questions, especially on the defense pairing. Let me know in the chat. We'll talk about that in the fourth period and overtime. But while you're at here, let me tell you, if you're enjoying this show so far, why don't you do us a couple of favors? You can like this video. You can hit the bell icon to subscribe. You can share this video and invite all your friends to come and chat. If you're listening this to another podcast, which will be up later tomorrow, I'll put it up tomorrow because I have a busy morning. I am news anchoring tomorrow on Say News File. So if anybody wants to come watch me deliver some news on our Say TV channel, do so. You can always come hang out there. It goes live 4:30 p.m. Calgary time tomorrow. So if you want to come and read some news, do so. But give us a 5-star rating. Give us all the positive reviews you can if you're enjoying this show. You can follow me at CGY_Anand. You can follow Conrad Krausert. He's on Instagram, Twitter. I don't know if he's on Twitter. Conrad, remind me, are you on Twitter? But I am. You can follow me at CGY_Anand. You can also follow us on Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, or wherever you are on your social media platforms. You can even find us on LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with us, go ahead. And you can find us at the GameOverNetwork.com. We hope to have upcoming newsletters as well. Alright, let's head into the third period. Of course, every game moving forward, is going to be an important one for the Calgary Flames. We talked about the standings a little bit. I'll dive into that shortly in just a bit. But this win wouldn't have happened if it was for a couple of reasons. One, I know we lost Kadri to the box for 5 minutes for roughing. That was because Pospisil decided to snow the code, and then it drew a huge crowd. They set it as 4 on 4 of setting penalties, but I thought we would come up with a power play, but that didn't affect too much of us. But that crowd that it drew probably would have sparked the energy in the Flames, and then on the Flames went scoring totally. Scoring spree, especially that 3-2 goal from Rasmus Anderson. And then what was shocking was, with just couple minutes left in the third period, Seattle Kraken tie it again, 3-3. So I thought now, oh no, it's overtime. We have had overtime struggles, but then you believe it or not, Nazim Kadri, who was sitting in the box for 5 minutes long, comes out, delivers it for the team. He has done delivering whenever this team needs. I know he has taken backlash for having a quiet start of the season, but now he's proving his contract. He scored the overtime winner against the Islanders, and overtime here again. I know Muslims are fasting right now, so maybe he might have that inch in him. I don't know if he does fasting or not. As an NHL player, if he does, huge respect to him, and that the way he comes out, plays every night. Massive salute. And if Kadri hadn't scored on that double minor, which was looking painful to watch, that double minor where Coronado got high sticked, he was bleeding. For the first 3 minutes, it was difficult to watch. But then the last minute, where Kadri shoot it in, that shot, massive credit to him there as well. Without him, we wouldn't have had success. So, that's how things end. And now let's look at the bigger picture, the standing for this season. We do know the Winnipeg Jets have qualified for the playoffs. The Washington Capitals have also sealed the X. We have also seen teams get eliminated so far. That's the Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks. They are now just playing for the sake of playing, I guess. Now Seattle Kraken have fallen way behind with this loss today. Anaheim Ducks are slowly creeping up, but at one point they were really close between the Flames and all other teams, but now they are having a distance. Utah Hockey Club with 75 points. Can they chase? They need at least 2 more wins to catch up to the Flames. But then the Flames can handle their own business as well, with at least 3 games in hand against the St. Louis Blues, 1 game in hand against the Vancouver Canucks. And this is how the schedule looks for the Flames. You can tell me, predict right now, how many wins can it be possible? So on Thursday we take on the Dallas Stars. I see that as maybe a win. I don't want to jinx anything, but always predictions are fun. Stars on a back-to-back, possible win. Against the Oilers, it will be the most interesting, intriguing game. Lot of fun factors to decide. Lot of rivalry involved. The Colorado Avalanche, we have had tough against them. We'll see if we can capitalize on them at one point this season. Utah Hockey Club, it's on a back-to-back. And then we have decent, easy schedule after that. except for Golden Knights, the Ducks, Golden Knights, Sharks, Ducks, Wild, Sharks, Golden Knights, and the Kings. So, easy possibility for the Flames, but can you get it done? Is the question. That will remain the question throughout. Keep looking at the out of town scoreboard. We'll keep tracking on how the Flames does throughout the rest of this season. We'll look out at the bigger picture as we go along. I think that was all my discussion I had. Again, salute to Nazim Kadri, salute to Mac Coronado, Jonathan Ubado, Dustin Wolf. If the Flames can fix some of these mistakes, for example, we are gonna get Backlund back on Thursday. That's gonna be a good sign. Does Sharangovich sit for a game? It was planned to be that way today, but Backlund wasn't ready to go. So, what lifeline does that hold? And as Christy Merrill said, it's going to be tough. But as we know, this Flames team doesn't give up. KQ Anand the man. Hi KQ again. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending the evening with us. Let's take a look at the next look ahead games for the Calgary Flames, and then let's head into overtime as well and answer a few questions from the chat. But before that, if you haven't seen these merch already, I'll put it up once again. It's to my right, or this way, I guess. This way, yeah, right there. The QR code, you can buy apparel, you can support something that you love, and we have all these designs. We have this t-shirt, trying to close this. We have this hoodie, the Calgary cup mug, so if you want a coffee or a hot chocolate on a cold day, you can snag that, or a t-shirt as well. So be sure to support Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. You can use the QR code on the stream now and look to rebuild local sports media in Canada while wrapping our community. That's the Game Over Network community in Calgary. Alright, over to the chat I go. I'll revisit all the chat again. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them right now. Last moment to do so. Let's see, we'll start with AK. Probably won't be up, but have a good one, Anand. AK, thanks for tuning in. If you are still watching, Matt C says all the emotions, indeed all the emotions started from the overtime. Christian Merrill says few. I'll answer your question shortly in just a moment. What more could have we done? Realistically, as from Nazim Kadri, he has absolutely delivered his contract. 100% was that Kadri's 300th in the Christine. Time for St. Louis to lose a few games. We hope, especially if you're a Flames fan wanting to make the playoffs. KQ Johnny Goodrow says, Anand, welcome. KQ Conrad, Megan Mickelson will be scouting Dallas and Edmonton tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes, if we can get some insights. And Christine Merrill is asking, is Backlund close enough to returning any day now? Yeah, so from what I heard, Christine, Backlund, he skated this morning. He was taking regular practices even yesterday, but he stayed behind. He did late practice along with Dryden Hunt and Braden Pahal. So those three stayed out of the lineup tonight. The plan yesterday was, especially during morning skate, Pospisil took a maintenance day. So that slotted Yegor Sharangovich to his placeholder. So it was naturally going to be Backlund back to center and Sharangovich to eventually get scratched. But today, this morning after practice, I think either the coach or Backlund himself said, I'm not just ready to go yet. I need a bit of time. So realistically, it is predicted that Backlund will be back on Thursday against the Dallas Stars. We'll see tomorrow as well. We'll keep an eye out on the practice as well tomorrow to see if Backlund is gonna return tomorrow. I'm sure he'll skate, but just the returning to the lineup. We'll see on Thursday. And then consequently, do we see a Sharangovich seat as well? I'm just gonna take a look if I can quickly find out what Sharangovich's stat was tonight. I didn't notice him as much as you would like either. He had one shot on goal, one hit, and 15-10. So no points again. And Sharangovich was a exact zero, so nothing to show for in the plus or minus stats. So it will be an interesting to keep an eye on what they do when it comes to Sharangovich and when Backlund is ready to return. Alright, the Flames now will be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. puck drop. It is the Dallas Stars in town after taking on the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. So they are on a back-to-back. Conrad will have that post-game show along with Matt DeMille. And then the penultimate, the ultimate Oilers game on Saturday. With that, I thank you for watching Game Over Calgary tonight. Thanks for spending. Kudos to Christine, KQ, Conrad, Matt C, and AK for spending the Tuesday evening with us. Have a good night. Take it easy, and we'll see you on the other side.